400 kilometers above our heads, traveling at nearly 8 kilometers per second, is the International Space Station, the ISS. A $100 billion laboratory floating in the void, a symbol of what we can achieve when nations work together. A pinnacle of human engineering, orbiting the Earth 16 times a day. It is our permanent presence in space. We've grown accustomed to the images from it. We see astronauts floating, laughing, conducting science experiments that promise to cure diseases on Earth. We see the live feeds from the cupola, a panoramic window that shows us our blue planet with an almost divine beauty. Everything seems calm, clean, and perfectly safe, a controlled technological routine. But every now and then, that routine is broken. Anyone who watches the live NASA feeds knows the pattern. It's subtle, but consistent. The very moment something unusual enters the frame, a strange light, an object moving erratically, the feed is cut. The screen cuts to blue, and the official message is always the same, cold and technical, loss of signal. On September 14, 2025, during Expedition 74, this cut was not an accident. It was a desperate act of censorship. Two astronauts, the EVA commander and a mission specialist, were on a routine spacewalk, EVA-88, to install a new solar array. The public feed, which was showing the commander's helmet cam, cut abruptly at 14:32 Houston time. NASA, hours later, claimed a communication failure with a relay satellite. But an audio engineer monitoring the encrypted internal channel heard something he shouldn't have, and shocked, he leaked the recording. What you are about to hear is the internal audio. NASA claims it's a mix of static, task-induced stress, and a CO2 hallucination. But listen closely and decide for yourself.
Commander, report status on the panel.
Houston, there's something growing here on the joint. It's not ice. I repeat, it is not ice.
Say again. Not ice?
It looks organic, like a fungus or mold, but it's black and it's moving.
Commander, do not make contact with the substance. I repeat, do not make contact. Back away.
I think it saw me. My helmet light. It's turning. Oh my God! It's on my visor! It's trying to get in!
A fungus that moves, that reacts to light, that sees. What did the EVA commander really see? NASA confiscated all recordings from the chest and helmet cameras, citing incident investigation protocol. But they forgot one: the engineering inspection camera, a diagnostic tool used to check for microfractures on the hull. This is the photo it took, 30 seconds before the cut. NASA publicly cataloged it as thermal insulation debris. But look closely. It doesn't look like insulation. The texture is organic, fibrous, almost like mycelium. The terror, however, was not just outside. Internal maintenance reports, also leaked, showed that the contamination had already been spreading inside the station for weeks, silently. The source was the air filters and the water reclamation system. The organism was using the station's own infrastructure to spread from module to module, like a cancer. This was not the first time something has grown up there. The ISS has had a chronic fungus and bacteria problem for years, a problem they publicly admit but downplay. They talk about superbacteria that evolve in the unique microgravity and radiation environment, showing pictures of nasty-looking petri dishes. They treat it all as a scientific curiosity, a simple housekeeping problem. But what the leaked documents suggest is that the constant radiation and zero gravity aren't just creating stronger bacteria, they're creating something new, a mutation, a collective life form, a sentient fungal consciousness, an organism that has learned to survive in a vacuum and that sees the station not as a laboratory, but as food, and the astronauts as an ideal vector to spread. The audio recording of the EVA commander ended with screams and static, but his chest camera, before being remotely shut down by Houston, captured one last image, the moment of contact. The International Space Station is, conveniently, scheduled to be deorbited and burned up in Earth's atmosphere in 2030. NASA says it's because the structure is old, expensive, and obsolete. But now we know the truth. We are not deorbiting a piece of history. We are cleaning out an infestation. The cut on September 14th wasn't to protect us from a secret. It was to stop us from knowing that the creature up there had won.